What's going on, guys? Sonic Tierlist bringing you guys our next little special video that we're making that has the face cam, obviously, because it's the only time I actually do manage to actually do these videos. I don't do this for playthroughs, but I mean, this is the fourth video we've done like this, so I think we've probably figured that out by now. So, we're going to be doing another tier list. You can probably tell by the title. We're doing a Sonic relationship tier maker, which I think I said that at the end of the last one, which was where I did a tier list of all the Sonic games. So if you haven't went to go see that, go check it out. So we are going to be doing Sonic couples. This is like the, I don't know, the most tame, because one of them had like 110, and it's just like, I don't know, bro. Like, this is already a very controversial part of like the Sonic fandom. Because there's some people that love like Sonic fan couples, and there's some people that just don't give a shit about them. They just don't care. Like, they're stupid. Every fandom of any like kind of pop culture has got fan couples, and Sonic is very obviously no different. But there are some weird ones. There's some very weird ones. I don't think we have some. We have a couple of weird ones on here. I won't get to that. We're going to be ranking all of them, but this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing two tier lists for this. The first one is just going to be my opinion, what I think about the couples. And the second one is going to be how likely that these couples would be in the actual Sonic canon. Now, we all know that Sega has mandates in the games, and now the IDW comics, where obviously Sonic characters cannot, well, main characters cannot be in any type of romantic relationship. There's a couple of times where some of them feel like they've been hinted at, in the past, but we'll cross that when we get there. So, hey, let's go ahead and get into this. So, our first couple is Sonic and Knuckles. I'm gonna throw this in C tier. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of, I can't really see. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't feel right. It's just like, they're buddies, they're friendly rivals. I mean, look, now we're gonna be doing a different tier list, so in how likely this is could be higher. But this first one is just about what I think about the couples. I don't care about your stupid thing, but no, I mean, it's C tier. I mean, it's a below average couple for me. Not a fan about it. Tails and Cosmo. I'm about to skip ahead. Tails and Cosmo. I'll be honest with y'all. Where am I gonna put this at? I'm gonna put this in A tier. I get some people want to put this in S tier because this is one of the few times that we've actually seen, an actual proof of a couple from Sega in any format, because this is from Sonic X, the very end. Now, I think it's pretty obvious, like, when it comes to the neck, how likely it is where this one's going to go. But, yeah, I'm just going to slap it an A tier. I think they're pretty cute. It's nice to see Tails actually, I guess be the girl, be the girl, get the girl. I don't know if Tails wants to be the girl, but I don't really know what Tails is into. Maybe he does. Shadow and Tails. No, why? Just why? Knuckles and Shadow. I'm gonna throw this one in C tier. I feel like that. I can see it kind of like because of how they are. They're both kind of like isolated a little bit. I feel like this is kind of hard without saying like how likely it is. But Shadow and Takal. This is a very like relatively like up there couple. Even though Shadow and Takal, in the games have never met. They technically did meet somewhat in the Archie comics and in alternate future, where Shadow turned into an evil king, and Takal was like, it was still trapped into the Master Emerald with Chaos, and he fused them together to make Chaos, but that's for 30 years later. Shadow and Takal. I mean, dude, I gotta be honest with you. This is probably C tier. I just don't care about this one, but that's not hateable. Shad Amy. Yes, I remember my friend. She absolutely despises this couple. But I'm gonna put it in B tier. I don't hate it. I don't necessarily care for it, but I would pick it over all the ones we have listed so far. Shadow and Maria. Well, hey, get out of here. There we go. Shadow and Maria. Well, it's tough one. I'm gonna put this one in C tier because it's just a brother and sister relationship. It's not really much of a combo here. It kind of feels like abusing that in a way. So next up is Shadow and Silver. I'm kind of running through these pretty quick. Let's see what I want to put this at. Shadow and Silver. Where am I going to put this at? Kind of interesting. I'm trying to debate here about where exactly I'm going to put this couple. These guys are probably also C tier. There's probably be a lot of C tiers here. I don't know, bro. It's kind of like, yeah. I mean, you know, it's cool, I guess. I'm something wild about Shadow and Cream. No, why? Sonic and Cream. No, why? Cream and ML. How's that a couple? How's that a couple? Are we being dead ass right now? No way we are being dead ass right now, bro. It just don't make no sense as a couple though, and I just but you say how likely this it don't make any sense to me. Like I don't understand. Amy and Cream D tier. No, why? Knuckles and Rouge. Yep, first S tier right here. I mean, it doesn't. Well, it does get better than this, but Knuckles and Rouge is going in S tier. There's no doubt about these. I guess I should probably try to rank Knuckles. They're two peas in a pod, man. I mean, this is one of the few couples that like is alluded to, like in Sonic X with like the constant flirting. I think like at some point, like in the Japanese dub at the end of season 2, when they're like in episode 52 when they're waiting for it, how like in the 4Kids version, like Knuckles and Rouge kind of like getting like a tickle contest, but apparently in the Japanese version, it's not tickling sounds, it's kissing noises, but I think it was pretty obvious. You know, you could also make the argument to like, this, I'll probably allude to this later, that, Rouge just wants the Master Emerald and just acts like she just wants to mess around with Knuckles. But I think there could be something there. Knuckles and Silver. Alright, so before we keep going, we're going to rank these here. I gotta take Knuckles and Shadow over Knuckles and Sonic. I'd probably take this over here, but I probably would take this ahead of that. I would take Amy and Cream probably right there over them, but just saying. Shadow and Tails is just weird. Sonic and Cream, probably putting this at the end of the list, bro. Knuckles and Silver. I mean, this is kind of a little interesting. Let me see here. We're gonna be hating now. I'm gonna put this right here. Wait, no, I'm not. I'm gonna put this right here. Just another C tier. It's like, man. I mean, it could. I don't know. Okay, as we started on my own words. Knuckles and Tikal. Put this one in B tier, honestly. But I think I would put it ahead of Shad Amy though. I mean, it is kind of weird. It's his ancestor, but if we let people in Alabama get away with fucking their cousin, I guess we can let this slide too. Knuckles and Julie Sue. Okay, so I got to be honest with y'all. This right here, I can't put it in S tier though, but I will put it in A tier because this is another official couple. So, hey man, and I kind of warmed up to him a little bit. Like Julie Sue is like a perfect match for Knuckles in a way. You're like, so how's it S tier? Well, how's it not S tier? Well, it's a cool couple, but it's not S tier for me. Knuckles and Amy. What do we got here? Knuckles and Amy. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna put this one B tier 2. I used to think this one was very, very, very weird. But I warmed up to it a little bit, and it's one of those. It's kind of weird because just like you might see like Sonic and Amy is very common. I'm sure we'll be getting to that here at some point very soon, which I think that's actually it right down there. And then Tails and Amy, one of those is kind of out of left field. But Knuckles and Amy, it's just like, I don't know about that one. But in a way, I could kind of see it. I don't know why. But I kind of could. Silver and Blaze. This is gonna be, that's A tier for me. I mean, it feels like Silver and Blaze were kind of like created for each other, realistically. Like, this is just personal opinion. Like I said, we'll get to where we actually. It's just we will get to where we. Crap, I can't even speak. We'll get, like I said, we're gonna do this again, and we're gonna do it as to how likely these are. So shit, I don't even remember. I've already confused myself so bad. Silver and Blaze, they work very well together. The IDW comics kind of make it seem like a little bit that they have a thing for one another, somewhat, but not really. But obviously, that's one of the most popular couples for the two characters. And I do genuinely think that it works very well. Sonic and Metal Sonic, D tier. That makes no sense. Metal Sonic and Amy. No, but I like it more than that. Sonic.exe and the Tails doll. How do I feel about that? I don't give a shit. Sonic.exe and Fleetway Sonic. Gotta be honest with you. D tier. I don't give a shit. Sonic and Sonic.exe. I'm gonna get a little controversial here. I'm gonna put that in C tier. I mean, I might have something different to say when we get to how likely it is, but I kind of can't help but not be mad at it for some reason. I don't know if that makes me weird. Sonic and Silver. All right, it's hot take time. S tier. Come at me. I don't fucking care, bro. Come at me. I think Sonic and Silver would be awesome as a couple, bro. I really do. I think it's a pretty cute couple. For some reason, I think like Silver being the way he is, Silver like his naive. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I just really feel like they would work well together. I don't know why, but I do. Sonic and Sally. I'm gonna put this in A tier. I actually do like Knuckles and Julie Sue a lot more than Sonic and Sally. I think Sonic and Sally actually do also work really good as a couple. But, I just like these other ones more. Silver and Whisper. How do I feel about that? It's probably. I mean, at one point, I think because like how like Silver reacted to like Whisper the first time. I'm gonna put this in like low B tier. Like the first time, like when they met Whisper early, I think Silver was kind of crushing on her a little bit. Tangle and Whisper. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. That's the S tier couple, bro. I love their interactions in the comics. It is very, very, very obvious that these two like each other more than just friends. And I think like the writers at IDW have like hinted that multiple times. Jet and Wave. Feel about this one. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm probably gonna put this in B tier. It's like the most popular between the two. So it's just like I can dig it. I can dig it. Sonic and Jet. Ooh, another hot take. I'm putting this in B tier. I'm putting it in B tier. This kind of it works in a way like rivals to lovers in a way. And, I don't know. I feel like it'd be kind of funny. Silver and Espio. Why'd I have to pick this picture? What picture is this? Who thought this was a good idea? Silver and Espio. Well, Silver and Espio. Let's be honest here. I mean, the only time they've had any real, like, interaction maybe might have been Forces, but actual, like, complete interaction was Sonic Rivals 2. Probably put this. Yeah, y'all can get mad at me all you want. I'm gonna put that in B tier too. Whisper and Espio. I gotta be honest. I'm putting this in D tier. I don't have an opinion for this. I would take this over all of these. Espio and Tikal. No, like this is just random shit here, and it's just like I can't see it. Vector and Espio. How do I feel about this? Well, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's probably low C tier. I mean, I know it's a fairly common couple, but it's just like, not really. I don't really vibe with it. Vector and Vanilla. I gotta put this in A tier. I mean, come on, bro. This is like Vector's trying to be a stepdad. Come on, man. Let him have it. Let him have it. Let him have it. Mighty and SBO. How do I feel about this one? I don't care. The Avatar and Infinite is very interesting, but one I gotta be honest with you, bro. I don't care. Just not vibing with it. Sally and Monkey Con. So this one, I'm probably gonna put this right here, C tier. I didn't care for in the comics. I thought it was a bitch move, honestly, because it's like Sonic's trying to figure the relationship out. She was like, "Oh, I need to see how it works out with Sonic." I actually have the book that has this scene in it. You know what? No. I got this. I actually do have this. Aha! There it is. God damn, this book is old. I got this. It's prop time. Prop time. Prop punt. Oh shit. Prop punt. Boom! Right here. Journey to the East. It's like all the way at the back of the book. I passed it, bro. I passed it. Got it. Yeah, right here. It's probably mirror image, but I have it. It's from issue. It's from an epilogue, but it's like from issue 16 of Sonic Universe. The Journey to the East saga. So it's just like I don't really give a shit about that. Sally and Jeffrey St. John. I just don't give a fuck, bro. Boom Sonic and Boom Amy, because I did see the Sonic, Sonic and Amy one. I don't remember where it went. Where the fuck did it go? I know we haven't got there yet. Maybe I'm blind. Boom Sonic and Boom Amy. Where we gonna put this? I gotta put this right here, man. I like their dynamic in Sonic Boom. I think it's really cute, and it's pretty obvious in that one that like they have a thing for one another. Like, it's actually hilarious. Knuckles and Sticks. How many more of these we got? Oh, so many, and then we have to rate them again. I felt like it's gonna be easier on the go to rate them because it's gonna be like I don't know. Let me see here. Knuckles and Sticks. What do I think about Knuckles and Sticks? It's just a very interesting one, to say the least. So for Knuckles and Sticks, I would probably, and this isn't like Boom Knuckles, this is like base Knuckles. How would I feel about this? Sticks, I'm gonna put this honestly probably about mid-B tier. Like, I think it'd be funny. Like, Sticks being as like, crazy as she is. I feel like that she would clash with Knuckles a lot because Knuckles is like his independence, and Knuckles is like, no, I can't take your crazy delusion. Base game Knuckles, not Boom. Now Boom Knuckles, it would just be like a comedy show, and it'd be funny as hell. Rouge and Tails, this is a little weird. Might be another hot take. But man, I'm gonna put this in low A tier. I don't know why. There's something about this dynamic that works. You're like, whoa, hold up. What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't know. Somehow these two are kind of cute together, but it is also a little weird because Rouge is like 10 years older than Tails. I'm cooking myself with this one, dude. I'm never beating the allegations again after this. I'm done. I am history. Sonic and Tails, nope. Putting that in the bottom. Do not want to hear any argument about that. Hell no. Tails and Amy. Let's see here. Tails and Amy. Man, y'all gonna hate me for this. You're gonna hate me for this, bro. A tier. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? I can dig it. I can absolutely dig it. I think Tails and Amy could work. It's kind of like, but it kind of feels like, if Amy can't get Sonic, then it's just like Tails could be there. Like, perhaps Tails begins to feel something because he's like, well, he sees how much, like, Sonic just puts Amy off, or he did in the past. And, something happens between the two. Could feel it. He says, Sonic and Mighty. Well, I'm gonna stick that one right here. C tier, Silver and Amy. You know what? Y'all can hate me for this. Actually, no, I'm gonna go ahead and put this right up here, bro. I don't care. I think Silver and Amy are wonderful as a couple together. Sonic and Blaze. You already know where this is going because of the name of the channel. It's like 1A, 1B. I don't have to argue. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Well, and we'll get to this. Sonic and Blaze would work fantastically as a couple, in my opinion. Blaze is basically a dimensional alternate of Sonic. I do genuinely think these two would work very well as a couple. Tails and Cream. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and slap this up here too. I mean, it feels right. It feels right. Shadow and Rouge. You guys can get mad at me too, but I'm going to go ahead and slap this one up here too, buddy. Any Rouge just like Knuckles and Shadow just feels correct. I don't know why, it just does. Shadow and Blaze. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. I'll keep it real with y'all too. Guess where this one's going? Right here. S tier again. S tier again. Nah, look, I know Shadow and Blaze have basically never interacted actually in the games, which is a little weird. I don't know why. They have interacted in the Archie comics, but it feels like them not interacting in games is a little strange. It feels like we would have seen that by now. Shadow and Blaze would work real well here. Probably because of the fact they can trauma bond a little bit by their path. They each had rough paths. I can bring them together. All right. Amy and Blaze. Look, man, y'all can keep cooking me all you want. I don't give a fuck. Rouge and Amy. Hey, guess what? I'm putting this up here too. I'm never beating the allegations. I am so cooked. I'm history. I'm actually done, bro. I'm actually done. You can't believe it. Like, the comments gonna be going crazy if I ever had any. Sticks and Amy. I mean, probably low B tier. Not really feeling that one. Sonic and Sticks. I feel like these two could have a lot of fun together, but it's just like it kind of just not feeling the vibe there. I'm gonna put that in like C tier. Tails and Sticks, kind of like more in the same, but actually I think I kind of like this one more than this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Shadow and Scourge, very interesting. But not interesting enough to realistically keep my attention for a super long time. Sonic and Scourge. They're exact opposites, and they say opposites attract. I'm going to put this in low A tier. You can come at me if you want. Surge and Amy. This one, I've been hearing a lot more about this here recently. I don't know why, but I just have. And I got to be honest with you, I don't care. It's not vibing with me right now. I just don't care, bro. Scourge and Fiona. To me, this is just like a super, just completely just bland couple, like in the comics. I don't care for it. I think it's boring. It's like C tier at best. Sonic and Surge. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I kind of mess with this one. I'm gonna put this in B tier. Surge and Kit. I feel like, well, I think it's just in the comics, like Kit is just like, feels like he has to be attached to Surge or else he's just going to be completely lost. But I got to be honest with you, I ain't really been fucking with this one. I'm not going to put that right there. I think I would take Tails and Sticks and then right there. Robotnik and Dr. Stone. I mean, come on. This is like this feels like it has a legacy couple that's been around for quite a while. Can't hate on it, bro. You just can't hate on it. It's not possible. Eggman and Dr. Starline. Let me go ahead and stop you right there because it's going to be a hell no from me. Sonic and Eggman. That's going to be another hell no. The only thing. Blaze and Omega. This is just from one random appearance in Archie comics. I just don't care, bro. I'm gonna put this right here, bro. I just don't care. Shadow and Omega. It's just making sense, bro. What are we doing? We're just throwing shit out now? Like, what? I think I'm gonna move this up here. Sonic and Amy. You know what? Hate on me again if you want to. He's like, you put it ahead of Sane's? Yes, I did, bro. I know the channel's called Sane Salesman, but sometimes it likes to autocorrect in the search to say Son Amy Tails fan. Like, why don't you change the name? This channel's been up for almost 11 years. We're not changing the fucking name. Actually, it hasn't been. It's been up almost this year be 12 years. Like, no, we're not changing the fucking name. We rode out this far. We're gonna keep going where we are. I mean, this is like the de facto couple here, outside of another one which we haven't got to yet. Is it? Which I'm surprised hasn't popped up on the list. Is it even here? I don't think it is. What the fuck? There is no son. Is there? No, there's not. There's no Sonato on this list. No. Hold on, I gotta fix this. No, you know, we have to pay. We still have to pay respect to it, though. We still have to. Okay. Yeah, okay, I got it there without having to sing anything too crazy. I don't remember what the fuck. Oh, Sonic naming. Some people say it doesn't make any sense. I think it does. How does it not make sense? How does it not make sense? Huh? How does it not make sense? How does it not make sense? Tell me how this does not make any fucking sense. Amy likes Sonic. I don't care about all the changes she does. And legitimately, I think he likes her too. They've basically somewhat confirmed it. It's just up to the person's interpretation on how Sonic actually feels about Amy. So I went and added a picture. Sonic and Shay, you want to know my opinion about it? B tier. It's okay. I don't care. I know that like Sonato is like the most popular like Sonic couple besides Sonic and Amy. I don't vibe with it like you guys do, okay? I don't. Get mad at me all you want. Actually, B tier does feel a little disrespectful. I actually do like it better than that, better than this. And I would take it over there. I'd take it over that. You know what? Nah, mid A tier. Mid A tier. I changed my rating. Mid A tier. Charmy and Cosmo. I tried to make, you know what? I'm going to put that right there. C tier. I mean, they didn't really interact, but it's just like Charmy and Cream. I'm going to put this in B tier. Come at me, bro. I don't give a shit. Charmy and Saffron. I didn't. I mean, it was an actual couple, but I didn't really jive with it that much. Knuckles and Bark. Yeah, I'm gonna put that right there. It's not gonna. We got Fang and Trip. I mean, I'd take it over that. It's okay. Sonic and Fang. Ugh, no, I'm sorry. I'm just not vibing with it. Tails and Zoe. Feels like we've seen this one. I think this is a very good couple. I like it. So I'll put that in A tier. Is that Knuckles? Knuckles and Fang? Are we just making shit up now, bro? Are we making shit up now? I do not want that in front of that, dude. No way. So Fang and Bark. Surprised I don't have like Bean and Bark on here, but we're not adding that one. Another one I just realistically don't actually give a shit about. Mighty and Honey. I feel like I've seen this one. I gotta be honest with y'all, man. I know that like Honey is a very obscure character, and Mighty's like been more relevant here recently, but I can't help. I gotta put it in C tier. Mighty and Ray. This one feels a little weird, but I'm gonna put this probably at the top of this. Knuckles and Mighty. Once again, a lot of these I don't really have anything to say about. Honey and Amy is very interesting. I think I'm going to stick that down here at the bottom. Silver and Mephiles. I kind of like this one. This is like low A tier for me. I'm not going to lie to you. Shadow and Mephiles. I don't really dig with this one that much. It's probably like a mid C tier. Sonic and Mephiles. It's just kind of a little strange, but probably like low D tier. Mephiles and Infinite. Ooh, I didn't think about that. I kind of see it. I'm going to put that right there. C tier. Sonic and Infinite. I'm not really gelling with this one, not gonna lie. Shadow and Infinite. I kind of like that one a little bit more, but no. Sonic and Whisper. Well, Sonic and Whisper is I'm gonna put this at like low B tier. They wouldn't mind that. Sonic and Tangle. I feel like I would like this one more because it feels like these two would actually work together. Like it feels like they would actually be a pretty decent couple because they kind of bounce off of each other, like energy wise. So we've already done Silver in that. Charmy and Marine. I feel like these two would work really well together. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'm gonna stick this. I'm gonna stick this up here, bro. Tails and Marine. Not really saying a whole lot of anything about Tails and Marine. Let's see what we got here. I gotta be honest with y'all, man. I like Tails and Cream a lot more, but this one's kind of feels like, yeah, A-Ray, I'm digging it. Last but not least, we have Knuckles and Blaze. There's a one-shot comic about these two talking about how they're both guardians and what they do, but I gotta be honest with you, I could genuinely care less about this couple. We've already done that one. So there we go. There's my Sonic tier list. Cook me, call me a furry. I don't care. Because at this point doing this, I might have earned that extension. Like, oh, look at all these you put up here. All right, so do you see this? So S tier, we have Sonic and Amy, Sonic and Blaze, Knuckles and Rouge, Shadow and Blaze, Tails and Cream, Rouge and Amy, Blaze and Amy, Silver and Amy, Shadow and Rouge, Sonic and Silver, and Tangle and Whisper. In A tier, we have Vector and Vanilla, Tails and Marine, Boom Sonic and Boom Amy, Tails and Cosmos, Silver and Blaze, Sonic and Shadow, Tails and Amy, Robotnik and Stone, Knuckles and Julie Sue, Sonic and Sally, Tails and Zoe, Tails and Rouge, Sonic and Scourge, and Silver and Mephiles. B tier, we have Knuckles and Tikal, Shadow and Amy, Jet and Wave, Knuckles and Styx, Knuckles and Amy, Silver and Espio, Sonic and Scourge, Silver and Whisper, Sonic and Jet, Charmy and Marine, Sonic and Tangle, Styx and Amy, Charmy and Cream, and then Sonic and Whisper. C tier, we have Tails and Styx, Surge and Kit, Sonic and Styx, Surge and Amy, Shadow and Knuckles, Shadow and Scourge, Shadow and Mephiles, Sonic and Knuckles, Scourge and Fiona, Shadow and Maria, Mighty and Honey, Silver and Shadow, Silver and Knuckles, Knuckles and Blaze, Shadow and Tikal, Sonic and Sonic.exe, Sally and Monkey Khan, Sonic and Mighty, Infinite, Infinite and Mephiles, Charmy and Saffron, Vector and Espio, Honey and Amy, and then Charmy and Cosmo. And then D tier, we had Knuckles and Mighty, Mephiles and Sonic, Mighty and Ray, Fang and Trip, Knuckles and Bark, Amy and Cream, Knuckles and Fang, Fang and Bark, Sonic and Fang. So is it Jeffrey and Sally, Shadow and Tail, Shadow and Cream, Cream and Jamel, Tangle and Espio, Espio and Tikal, Mighty and Espio, Metal Sonic and Amy. The Avatar, I used to call them Gadget. So Gadget and Infinite, Shadow and Infinite, Sonic and Infinite, Omega and Blaze, Sonic and Metal Sonic, Sonic and Cream, Shadow and Omega, Sonic.exe and Fleetway, Sonic.exe and the Tails doll, Starline and Eggman, Sonic and Eggman, and then Sonic and Tails. So, that is my personal opinion on this. We need to start over. Yeah, reset. So, next up, we're going to be doing how likely these are, but I'm going to go get some water real quick. I should probably start grabbing that when we actually start the video. So, with that being said, I'll be right back. Alrighty then, and we're back. We're back again. Now we're going to rank these by how, basically, yeah, how possible these are. So we're going to start with Sonic Shadow first. Let's see here. How likely would Sonic and Shadow be? Scroll up with this. Gonna try to think about it here. How possible? I'm gonna put this in A tier. I think Sonic and Shadow as a couple, I think it's actually fairly possible. I think you can kind of look at the fact that obviously, you know, they're rivals. They always want to outdo one another. And, you know, that maybe that could lead to possible, I guess, romantic feelings. As crazy as it sounds, man, I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. Sonic and Knuckles to start off with. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to put this in B. I think this is actually somewhat possible because we all know Knuckles really envies like Sonic's like freedom, how like, he gets to travel the world and do whatever he wants while Knuckles is confined to having to guard the Master Emerald. And I think maybe Knuckles having the envy for Sonic possibly could turn into a crush at some point. You never know. So it's not like 100% possible, but it's just unlikely. Tails and Collie. Well, this is S tier because this actually did happen. So Shadow and Tails. How likely is this? Not very likely. Knuckles and Shadow. Put that in about C tier for likely. I mean, it's like extremely like is like basic extremely likely or has happened to just not likely. Just it could. The chances of it are very small, but it's very likely. Shadow and Tikal. No, it's just not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna happen. I'll gotta let that go. Shadow and Amy, the possibility of them getting together, I'd be strong. I'd be crazy enough to say that I'm put this in A tier, and I think it's more likely than Sonado. Because it's very obvious that like out of all the Sonic characters, I think Shadow, besides like Rouge and Omega, like I think like Amy is probably the one person Shadow would realistically actually want to hang out with. So remember, in the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, Shadow, for Amy's birthday, Shadow actually got her tickets to her favorite band, and he went with her. When would Shadow ever do that with somebody? Never. I think Shadow looks at Amy, I think, a little bit in the same light as he does Maria, but you can also counter that, but it's not romantic. He just looks at Amy in the light of Maria, so he probably looks at her like a sister somewhat, not like as a romantic interest. But also for that one, you can counter the counter by going back to the beginning that maybe he actually kind of does. So, with that. Shadow and Maria. Well, I hate to break it to you. I got to put this in D tier because of the fact, Maria is... And they were kind of... I do think their relationship was like... In the like game canon is definitely like a brother and sister, best friends, not anything romantic. But there's like an alternate. But there's like, it was like an AU story where Maria's like her own character that didn't have the past, then Shadow and Maria could probably definitely work as a couple, but just not here. This is based off of like not fan, but just kind of like canon possibly. Shadow and Silver being together. I'm gonna slap this in C tier. I think it is a little bit more likely than like Shadow and Knuckles, but it's possible, but very unlikely. Shadow and Cream. He just no. I don't see it. Probably more likely than Shadow and Tails, but happen. Sonic and Cream. He's just like no. That's just not gonna happen. ML and Cream. I mean, I think no, but it probably has like the best. It would have the best chance out of any of these to actually happen. Cream and Amy, no, that's another no. That is just not going to happen in the couple. Knuckles and Rouge, I feel like this one it's been somewhat. I didn't get water, I got lemonade, by the way. But I feel like this has been teased like numerous times. So putting that in S tier, it's just like it is actually very possible this is a thing. Knuckles and Silver. One of these that I think realistically you could probably put in. I'm just going to put that in D tier. Silver and Knuckles never interact. Never interact. It's just not going to happen. Knuckles and Tikal. Where would this? This is probably low C tier or right now C tier, just because of the fact they have a bit of a connect, but they're also ancestors. So once again, you can throw it back to be weird and whatnot. Knuckles and Julie Sue. This has actually pretty much been like it's in the Archie comics. They are together. The all possible alternate future timeline, they have a daughter together. Because one of those turned out really good, and the other one turned out really bad. So there, Knuckles and Amy. Like, how likely could this be? I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, you could probably put this in possibly low B, probably high C though. Because it's one of those, you don't really see Knuckles and Amy interact a whole lot either. I mean, obviously they're a part of like the big core team Sonic, but it's like Knuckles and Amy don't necessarily react. I feel like kind of hard. I feel like I gotta put this in like low B, like very possible. Silver and Blaze. I gotta be honest with you. I gotta put this in S tier. This could be very likely. Like I said, obviously Sega. We will probably never actually ever seen like official couples of like the main Sonic cast. But if for some reason Sega decided to come out and be like, yeah, we're gonna make that work, Silver and Blaze probably up there toward the top of the list. Sonic and Metal Sonic, no, that's not gonna happen. But I will put that right there. Metal Sonic and Amy, that is more likely, but it's just like, no. Sonic.exe and the Tails doll. Well, there goes, canon out the window. I mean, how likely would this two be? I'm going to probably put this right here in C tier. I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. We'll just leave it at that. Sonic.exe and Fleetway. I could probably put this in B tier, and I'd probably actually put it up here. I feel like the two, if they had romantic feelings for one another, they could. Who knows? They would be two peas in the pod, probably like Knuckles and Rouge. Sonic.exe and Sonic. Well, if we're going by actual base canon, like this would never happen. This has got a better chance. Actually, no, we're gonna put this down here. Sonic would be completely repulsed by Sonic.exe. I realistically think because he's just like, can't stand that motherfucker. Like, no, like Sonic. I don't think Sonic would want to be with somebody that has done what this man has done. And Sonic would never give him the time of day to do it either. So now we have Sonic and Silver. I'm trying to think about how likely would these two be? Sonic and Silver. Pretty good estimation here. How likely could Sonic and Silver possibly? I'd probably put this. I'd put this in like high B tier. Like realist Sonic and Silver probably just like best buddies. Like Silver probably look at Sonic kind of like how Tails is more like an older brother than he would as like a possible boyfriend. So we're gonna slap that in about B tier. Sonic and Sally. I mean, this is kind of already been a thing. This tier. Silver and Whisper. I mean, they could probably slap this in like low B tier. Like I think it's pretty obvious. Like how the next one, Tangle and Whisper, is S tier because this is like incredibly possible. I put it right there. So yeah, like Silver and Whisper probably could work, but it's just the fact that she would probably be with this. She's interested in Tangle. Just kind of takes the cake on that. We have Jet and Wave. It'd be far fresh to press this in AA tier. I think it could happen. Too, it's like that they spend like all their time with each other. Maybe they actually begin to feel something for one another. Who knows? It's like Sonic and Jet. This is one realistically that I could kind of put for like the same reasons as Sonato. It's one of those rivals to lovers things. You never know. So I'm gonna put that in A tier actually. Silver and Espio. This is probably here in B tier. I don't think it's going to be because of the fact that Espio's dressed up like a maid. I just don't know why they picked that picture. But they have interacted before. They've teamed up together before. Who knows? Espio and Tangle. Probably C tier. It's just like you just don't see it. Very small chance. Actually, I'll put this in like low D tier. It's like, no. Espio, and then about the same reasons as this, just not gonna happen. Vector and Espio. Feel like put this one in probably about like C tier because it's just where they work together. It's like a mutual respect. I don't really think there's any romantic interest there. Vector and Vanilla. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and slide this up here in the S tier. It's very clear that like Vector likes Vanilla a lot, and I think Vanilla in a way does kind of have the same feelings as Vector does. So I think it's very possible that this could work. Mighty and Espio. This is probably more like in the Archie comics, so most likely it's more likely than Tangle and Espio, but Infinite, no, I don't see that happening at all, because it's like, you remember what he did, so we ain't falling for that. So we ain't falling for that. Where do I put this right here? Right there. Yeah, it's just like, that ain't gonna happen. They're like, that's not gonna happen. Sally and Monkey Con. Going comics wise, I feel like we have to put this in A tier, because like the first moment Sonic would slip up if the Arch comic was still a thing and they didn't have to reboot it. Monkey Con would be there. Monkey Con would be there, man. I gotta put that A tier. It's Sally and Jeffrey St. John. Sally not vibing, especially toward the end of like the pre-Super Genesis wave. Like Jeffrey caught a lot of heat because he was actually working with Nagas. So this probably drops this down to like a mid B tier, because it's like she's not gonna think and go back to that. Boom Sonic and Boom Amy. I feel like we gotta throw that in S tier. Have to throw it in S tier. Knuckles and Sticks. How possible would this be? I mean, it's just game Knuckles and like Sticks. Probably like B tier. Like if it was Boom Knuckles, this low key might probably be like an A tier, but say B tier for here. I feel like Sticks would just completely drive Game Knuckles absolutely insane. But he's just like, like she would just drive him mad to the point he want to push him away. But if she could like calm down for him, I could see it. Tails and Rouge. I gotta be honest with you, man. I don't see this one happening. It's weird. Like this never had any true merit to it, because I don't think so. Like I think Tails is too young for Rouge. Sonic and Tails. Man, I think I'm gonna be on some. Where's the other one? You can kind of chop it up here to Sonic and Silver. I mean, it's a brother like relationship. I mean, maybe at some point it could actually turn romantic. I mean, it's middle. I mean, it's one of those you can realistically probably go either way on. Whether you hate it or not, that's just true. Tails and Amy. This is probably about in the same vein. Realistically, it's just like, maybe it's probably more like a brother and sister, like best friends relationship, but who knows? Sonic and Mighty. I mean, they have history together. Not romantically, but just like game wise. They do have history. They do have history. But I don't think it's probably good enough to have history like that. It's more likely probably than like Tails and Rouge, but most likely not. Silver and Amy. You guys might be able to hate on me for a little bit more, but I think it's possible. I think it's very possible. And I think Silver and Amy would actually be a pretty good couple together. So get mad about Sonic and Blaze. How possible is this? Cook me all you want. I was gonna put it in S, but I guess I'm gonna put it in like A right here. But I'm gonna move this back because like this was going to be a thing before. So like Sonic and Blaze could work. Like I said, Blaze is basically like an alternate dimension version of Sonic. I think they would work really well together. I think they understand each other pretty well. But you can also make the argument that this couple could be if they had a relationship, it could be complicated, figuring the fact that, they live in different dimensions. And the fact that, like, Blaze is a princess. She's always busy with something. So she would very rarely have time for Sonic. We know how Sonic is. I mean, you can go ahead and like denounce any possible Sonic couple from the fact that Sonic doesn't want to be tied down by a relationship. He wants to be free. He doesn't want any burden of having to wait for somebody. So that could immediately denounce every Sonic couple that's on this list. Every single one of them with that right there. Every single one of them. But, Blaze is one of the few people that could genuinely keep up with Sonic when she had the time to actually spend with him. She can keep up with him. He wouldn't have to slow down for her. But at the same time, though, it's like if Sonic was have to, be a part of like, helping Blaze rule her kingdom for some reason. That would probably be if they got married. Like, could Sonic handle having to slow down for that? Tails and Cream. You don't really see a lot of proof of this. I'm throwing this in A tier. I think this is a little bit more possible. It could happen, bro. Like don't get that twisted. Do not get that twisted. Shadow and Rouge. I think this is very, very possible. Probably more so than Shadow and Amy, because like Rouge, I think is like de facto is like Shadow's best friend. If he would call her friend. I don't care what Sega says. Team Dark is not friend. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Shut the fuck up. Perhaps. You never know. Maybe all that partnership has led over the top. Shadow and Blaze. I gotta put this one in B tier. Mainly because of the fact that they barely barely interacted in games. The Archie comics do have them talking. It's in the very first issue of Sonic Universe. And they would bond by their troubled past. And I think they would get along and work together really well. But due to true lack of interaction, I can't put it in A tier. So I have to put it in B. But like right there at the top. Blaze and Amy. I mean, this could definitely... This works kind of like in the same vein here as like Sonic and Tails. It's kind of like a sisterly bond. Like Amy would look up to Blaze. Perhaps it turns romantic. Maybe it does. Amy and Rouge. This one's probably going in C tier. I mean, Amy and Rouge are cool to one another, but their goals and their morals don't always align with one another. So it's possible, but I feel like it's not very possible, if you catch my drift. Styx and Amy. This kind of is in the same vein as Blaze and Amy. I mean, they're in Sonic Boom. They're like Amy is Styx's best friend. They have the girly and sisterly bond. You can make the exact same argument here for that. Sonic and Styx. I mean, yeah, probably could. Maybe more so with like Knuckles and Styx than that. We'll put that in low B tier. Tails and Styx. I mean, we could probably put this in like lower B tier as well. I feel like it'd be more likely with like Knuckles and Styx instead, but who knows? Shadow and Scourge. Likeliness scale on this one, probably not going to happen. Sonic and Scourge, no. I think it's more likely than Shadow and Scourge, but it's just like, no. It's just not going to happen. Polar opposites. They do not really get along at all. Obviously, it's good Sonic, evil Sonic. I don't see it. We have Surge and Amy. Kind of fresh out. Maybe this a little bit. Unlike Rouge and Amy, but probably just a little bit more possible. Scourge and Fiona. Well, we've already seen that this one was actually real, but so I have to stick it right there because it's basically just been confirmed. It is a couple, so I have to put it in S tier because they're actually a thing. Sonic and Surge. This kind of here goes a little bit with these. It's one of those. I mean, Surge hates Sonic, but it's like, who knows? Feels like one of those things that could realistically just kind of flip at any moment. Well, let me drop this down a little bit. This is probably right here. It's one of those that could be a 50-50 coin flip. You know, Surge does not like Sonic, but maybe being a hero and like, you know, trying to turn into one, and like, I don't know, it feels like something could flip, and maybe, just maybe, Surge and Kit, probably more likely than this. I'm putting this in like C tier. Like I said earlier, it's like Kit kind of feels like without Surge, he's going to be lost, and he's not going to be able to survive, and he needs her, and he needs her to be okay. And Surge kind of just, you know, carries him around like a little buddy, but not really anything relationship here. I mean, this. How likely is this? Robotnik and Stone. I gotta put this in. I gotta put this in A tier, but I'm gonna put this up here though. So yeah, there you go. It's what it feels like right there. A tier. We know about all the memes and whatnot. Who knows? Eggman and Starline. That is not gonna happen. Where I'm gonna put this in detail? I'm gonna put this. Actually, no. I'd rather put money more on that than having that. So, Sonic and Eggman. I'm going to tell you right now where this is probably going. It's not gonna happen. I think Eggman would rather die before trying to do anything like romantic with Sonic. I really do. Omega and Blaze. This is another one that is just not gonna happen, man. Not gonna happen. Omega and Shadow. This is probably also not gonna. But you know what? I'm gonna put it in C tier as possibility. Sonic and Amy, dude. You know what? Think about where in the world would I put this? Having to try to debate here of where we would put Sonic and Amy at. I feel like I have to do it. I have to put it in S tier. I mean, like, I think it was either Tracy Yardley or Evan Stanley that said this about how like Sonic actually does feel feelings for Amy. He's just not the romantic type. And there's also the fan theory that Sonic has always liked Amy the same. He's just never been able to tell her that. Or it could be the superhero code. He does like Amy. He just can't tell her to keep her out of danger because he knows that any of his villains, any of his enemies would just, you know, probably capture Amy and use her against him. But saying that Sonic and Amy is not possible is an absolute lie. That's very obvious. Charmy and Cosmo. That is not going to happen. It's more on the lines probably down here, but more likely than that. Charmy and Cream. Hey, man. Never say never, man. Never say never. Charmy and Saffron. I gotta put this in S tier. This couple actually happened. They were a real thing in the comics. They were a real thing. Knuckles and Bark. I don't see that. I don't see it. Where am I gonna put this? More likely than like these, but no. Fang and Trip. I mean, I'm gonna throw this down here in C tier. I mean, they're at the game. Like, Fang treated Trip like shit, but hey, who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? Sonic and Fang. That's another one that's not gonna happen. Put that below that. Tails and Zoe. We've seen this one happen before. We're gonna put that in S tier because it has happened. Knuckles and Fang. No, that's even less like. Well, it's probably more likely than Sonic and Fang. Fang and Bark. Probably more likely than that. Mighty and Honey. We don't even see Honey anymore, but I'll put this at the bottom of like C tier. Mighty and Ray. This is another one that kind of goes up here with that. B tier. You can go either way. Like, best that could swap. It's like a half and half. Knuckles and Mighty. I'm gonna put this in like low B tier. You know. I'm just gonna move on. Honey and Amy. It's likely here. Low C tier. Silver and Mephiles. Well, technically, I could go ahead and denounce all these just because of the fact that Mephiles obviously does not exist, even though he did come back in Shadow Generations. But I definitely don't see it now. After what happened, Shadow and Mephiles. Shadow would never ever do that. Never. He's like, Sonic and Mephiles, they never interacted, and they don't exist anymore. It's like, no. Plus, I don't think Sonic would be very happy when he figured out, if Sonic 06's events were canon, I don't think Sonic would be very happy to figure out Mephiles was the one that literally killed him. Infinite and Mephiles. If this was an actual, if these two were able to coexist at the same time, how possible would this be? I gotta throw that in A tier. I feel like these two would. I think like these two would definitely have a thing for one another. Sonic and Infinite. I think Infinite would probably rather die. Shadow and Infinite is probably the same thing here. Sonic and Whisper. What did I do? Oh, can you like click on the pictures? I guess not. Okay, whatever. Probably gonna throw this right here because I feel like it's less likely than Silver and Whisper, more likely than Sonic and Styx. Sonic and Tangle. Man, if they weren't there, man, I gotta be honest with you. It's probably right there, bro. It would definitely be a thing if like she didn't if we all knew that they didn't have a thing for one another. So well, that's the same picture again. Charmy and Marine. I feel like I gotta put this like up here and probably about C tier, high C tier. If they knew each other, it probably could happen, but just not. Tails and Marine. How likely is this? Man, I gotta throw this one in A tier too. These two would probably bond over like like machinery and like building, because we know Marine turned into a pretty good shipbuilder too. She built her own little ship. The two of them would bond. I think Tails and Marine would work out pretty well. And then last but not least, Knuckles and Blaze. I gotta put this in C tier. Being guardians, they'd have something to bond over, and like having the responsibilities that basically shape them to how they are in their isolation. So yeah, that could work. But all right, there we go. This is the tier list rankings by how possible I think these would be. So S tier is pretty much, hey, these couples either have been confirmed in some form of Sonic media, or they've either been hinted at or are very, very, very likely to happen if it ever had to go ahead. Which I don't really want to, which S tier, Sonic and Sally, Knuckles and Julie Sue, Tails and Zoe, Scourge and Fiona, Charmy and Saffron, Tails and Cosmo, Knuckles and Rouge, Tangle and Whisper, Sonic and Amy, or Boom Sonic and Boom Amy, Sonic and Amy, Vector and Vanilla, and then Silver and Blaze. In the A tier, this is like, hey, it either was like this close to being one, or it's very possible that this could be a thing. Sally and Monkey Kong, Tails and Cream, Tails and Marine, Dr. Robotnik and Agent Stone, Sonic and Blaze, Shadow and Rouge, Shadow and Amy, Sonic and Shadow, Sonic and Jet, Jet and Wave, Silver and Amy, and Infinite and Mephiles. B tier is kind of like one of those. It's like 50-50. You can go either way with these. It's somewhat possible that it can happen. But Shadow and Blaze, Charming and Cream, Sonic and Silver, Blaze and Amy, Styx and Amy, Mighty and Ray, Sonic and Tails, Tails and Amy, Silver and SBO, Jeffrey and Sally, Sonic and Surge, Sonic.exe and Fleetway, Sonic and Knuckles, Knuckles and Amy, Knuckles and Styx, Tails and Styx, Sonic and Tangle, Silver and Whisper, Sonic and Whisper, Sonic and Styx, and then Knuckles and Mighty. And then C tier, there's a small possibility that this couple can happen. It's very unlikely, but there's a very small chance it could happen. So we put Charmy and Marine, Surge and Kit, Surge and Amy, Rouge and Amy, Knuckles and Blaze, Shadow and Silver, Knuckles and Shadow, Knuckles and Tikal, Fang and Trip, Vector and SBO, Sonic.exe and the Tails doll, Shadow and Omega, Mighty and Honey, and then Honey and Amy. And then D tier, it's pretty much little to absolutely zero chance that this couple was to happen. Which I put Sonic and Mighty, Sonic and Scourge, Silver and Mephiles, Shadow and Scourge, Tails and Rouge, Eggman and Starline, Mighty and SBO, get Tangle and SBO, Cream and Jamel, Knuckles and Silver, Gadget, the Avatar, and Infinite, Fang and Bark, Knuckles and Bark, Knuckles and Fang, Sonic and Fang, Shadow and Maria, Sonic and Infinite, Shadow and Infinite, Metal Sonic and Amy, Sonic and Metal Sonic, Omega and Blaze, Shadow and Cream, Shadow and Tails, Sonic and Cream, Cream and Amy, Shadow and Mephiles, Sonic and Mephiles, Charmy and Cosmo, Shadow and Tikal, Espio Tikal, Sonic and Eggman, and then Sonic and Sonic.exe. So alrighty then, guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for this week's episode. So next weekend, I'm trying to debate if we're going to do another AU video that I saw, or if we're going to go do one more tier list, we're going to do a Sonic characters. I think we're going to do the Sonic characters tier list. But that's all I got for this one. If you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, really helps out, and I will catch you guys for the next one. Till then, peace out, guys.